Welcome to week 4, building my own freelance business in 6 months. Going to talk about my first portfolio project, techpdx.io, event blogging website, and calendar. Those in Portland know about Calligator. I created a calendar that's using a more up-to-date framework. Backstory with Calligator is that it's been around for many, many years, much beloved. People go there and they post their events, tech or startup related. It's been around for many, many years. I think maybe a decade now by this point. It's not very actively maintained or maintained at all to my knowledge over the past couple of years. The last commit to it last time I checked was many years ago. It's pretty slow, lots of vulnerabilities, I'm sure. So I'd started the TechPDX calendar as an alternative to that, where it's actively maintained. It's live. I welcome contributors. I did start it in Ruby on Rails. I know there's still a very active community around Ruby on Rails framework. Not trying to upset anybody out there who's a big Ruby on Rails fan. It just ultimately kind of felt like it wasn't for me. I just re-engineered it in Next.js. I don't know how awesome Next.js is yet. I know there's a lot of SEO optimization, server-side rendering. It's supposed to be very fast. Also built on React components and the whole React thing, which I'm a bit more familiar with as far as my front-end engineering goes. I was kind of regretting it. I made a post on Blue Sky about it because I was regretting it just a little bit because I felt with maybe just a pure React library components, just using React library, something simple like that, it would have been faster to stand up something for my portfolio. There's additional complexity that you throw in when you start a project in Next.js. The app router framework, not unhappy with the experience in Next.js. Heavily relying on Tailwind UI blocks and components. I guess I'll share the event blog, and I'll share the calendar as well. Here's the techpdx.io landing page. So previously this used to be the calendar. I rebuilt it with Astro. So I've been trying out Astro, a static site generator. It's pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's got Markdown support. It's very fast. I love the directory structure for page routing. This is the landing page. I've been focusing on just trying to give everything a personal touch. So I've been kind of showing this off, this event page. It's just going to be a place where I get to go out to events and take my DSLR and attend meetups and meet people, just kind of give a personal write-up and a personal touch to these events. So it's been great for as far as kind of making connections, and people seem to really dig it. They're really excited to hear about, when I go out and take pictures and write them up. And I think it's just a neat way to kind of bring the community together. So the way to get to the community calendar is there's going to be a link here to the calendar. So click on calendar, it takes you to calendar.techpdx.io. So this is the re-engineered version Next.js. Again, heavy use of Tailwinds, components, and UI blocks for all the spacing and the fonts and just the CSS and everything like that, which I found super helpful. So I actually bought a Tailwinds Plus lifetime membership, which I think was about $200, $250, $300 maybe, but I think it's totally worth it. You can subscribe to the calendar via RSS feed, a bunch of seeded data here, right? But I intend to create some kind of automation to pull in events to kind of just keep things relevant and populated somehow. So figure out how I can do that later. Some kind of application running on a cron schedule. You can kind of go to different months and things like that to see which events are there. You can go to the events and look at all the details for the events. There's a Google Maps integration as well if the location's been populated. You can import events, add event manually like you're used to on Calligator, import events with an ICS URL, and then also search for events. I feel like it's a little slow. I'm using Vercel to deploy and NeonDB, and I'm using the Prisma ORM. For the first time, I've used Postgres before, which is the Neon database, but I haven't used something like Prisma. So define the schema, define a client, pull in that client where you need to actually do the database operations. That's the TechPDX calendar. Under my username Flite999, TechPDX calendar, you can go to the it's all open source, so you can look at all the code and open up issues and pull requests and contribute if you'd like to get involved. Would love to have contributors. That wraps up the first item in my portfolio. My second item is to work on the FluidDruid website, fluiddruidpdx.com. Pretty much got most of the UI mockups already done. Probably the lengthy portion is going to be working in Payload CMS. So I've chosen that as the CMS to be the backend for the website. Looks like they have like e-commerce support. So I'm going to build a store on their e-commerce CMS platform. We're going to have a little band store with our merch and things like that. And I'm going to create a admin portal for my bandmates to come in and make posts, edit content, update our live dates, update the database for, what we have in stock. That's the next project. And then the third one is going to be the probably Flutter mobile app relaunch of Gigomatic. So that's it for this week. Thanks. See you later.